Think you're good? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night. We're here at the Uniontown Area High School inside the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. I'm Joshua Scully, and I'm excited to share with you this exclusive digital coverage of Uniontown Red Raiders boys basketball on the WMBS Facebook page, which is brought to you by George Dental Associates, SWGI in Uniontown, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the Centers for Rehab Services, and physical therapist Jim Burns, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides, Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer, Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke, Joby's Golf, Zen's Construction Warehouse, and Big Al's Market. Now stay tuned for the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show here on the WMBS Facebook page. The pregame show this evening is brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They will get you ready for the game. They are located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides knows there is nothing more exciting than high school sports. He knows all the athletes have worked hard to be competitive, plus maintain their study skills. Commissioner Vince Vicides salutes all the young contestants tonight in their efforts. Good luck. And may the best team prevail from Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides. Shop the New Year's sale at Zen's Construction Warehouse on Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Family owned and operated by the Nelson family. Zen's has everything you need for that next home improvement project at deep discounted prices from the big box stores. Phone 724-366-8274 or visit Zen's on Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse. Our surplus, your savings. We're excited now for the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here on WMBS, this exclusive digital broadcast of Uniontown Red Raiders boys basketball on the WMBS Facebook page. This evening it will be the Uniontown Red Raiders playing host to the rival Albert Gallatin Colonials in what will be a conference opener for both teams, and we're just about 8 minutes and 35 seconds away from the first tip. This evening, you'll see the Uniontown Red Raiders in their home white uniforms. Currently, they're warming up to the left of your screen on the right-hand side, and they're visiting black, white, and charcoal uniforms. We have the Albert Gallatin Colonials. The Albert Gallatin Colonials this evening bring forward a team that has a lot of potential and a lot of scoring power, and they are led by Aiden Black. Aiden wears number 10. He's a sophomore for the Colonials. He's averaging 12.7 points per game. The Colonials also boast a senior in the form of number 15, Grayson Jarrett, who averages 10.2 points per game. And the nice thing about Jarrett is that he produces a lot of those points courtesy of the rebounds that he pulls off the glass. Jarrett is coming into this game with 41 rebounds on the season. He leads the team in that category, 26 of those of a defensive nature, so he's also capable of ending the opponent's possession as well. He's got 15 offensive rebounds to go along with that. The assist leader for this Colonial squad is number 24, Shymir Wilson, the sophomore. He has 22 assists coming into this one. Steals leader for this Colonial squad, number 16. That's 0, Blake White, a junior. And Blake White is off to a good start this season, coming in himself, averaging 9.7 points per game. That's good for third on the team, along with 34 rebounds this season, 16 assists, those 16 steals we mentioned earlier, and he's also got a block to add to this Colonial squad. Albert Gallatin, of course, very excited about number 10, Aiden Black. We mentioned him as the points per game leader. He helps in other statistical categories as well, no question about that. Coming into this game with 13 rebounds, 11 assists, 13 steals, and a block on the young season. The Colonials themselves entering this game 3-4 on the season. That's 3 wins and 4 losses. And the Colonials tonight going to be looking perhaps to get their conference season off to a good start here with what would be an upset victory over the hosting Uniontown Red Raiders. On the Uniontown Red Raiders side, a couple of capable scores, certainly no doubt about that. And for the Red Raiders, those scores take the form of number 00, Notorious Grooms, who's averaging 15.2 points per game entering this contest, and number 2, Calvin Winfrey, averaging 11.5 points per game. Of course, Notorious and Calvin known here in Uniontown by head coach Rob Kaczmarski as the Super Sophomores. Notorious does have 152 points on the season, Calvin 115. That's a total point value across the first 10 games of the season. And by the way, the Red Raiders are 9-1 in those contests. Notorious Grooms and Calvin Winfrey help the squad in a couple other ways too. They are not just scorers. Grooms enters this game with 31 steals. Winfrey has 18. Grooms 52 assists. Winfrey has 31. Grooms 30 rebounds. Winfrey has 22. As far as those rebounds are concerned, rebound leader on this Uniontown Red Raider squad, Kadrian McGlee. He's got 72 this season, 37 on the defensive side, 35 on the offensive side. Levi Garner helps in that capacity as well. He's got 57 rebounds this season for the Uniontown Red Raiders through 10 games, 29 defensively, 28 offensively. And when we look to that blocks category, that category really tells a tale about this Uniontown Red Raider squad. Kadrian McGlee has 20 blocks to this point. Levi Garner, 14. Those are impressive numbers. In the steals category, outside of some strong play from Grooms and Winfrey, you can't forget about Tavian Richardson. That name going to be familiar to a lot of our listeners. Tavian, of course, was the starting quarterback for the Uniontown Red Raiders this season. He's got 36 steals and leads the team in that category. That 36 number coming across 10 games. He's averaging nearly 4 steals per game. Bakari Wallace for Uniontown also adding in 23 steals of his own. If you've watched this Uniontown Red Raider team earlier this season, you know that they are quick. They will press. They will create their own opportunities offensively, and they are looking to capitalize on their opponent's mistakes. They are incredibly good at that. So we're certainly not surprised to see so many Uniontown Red Raiders bringing a significant number of steals into the contest this evening. Are you looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Good luck to Coach Rob Kaczmarski and the Uniontown Red Raiders from George Dental Associates. Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer litigated over 275 civil and criminal trials, some of which have been aired on Oprah, Inside Edition, and ESPN. Having an engineering degree, a master's in business administration, and law degree qualifies him to go toe-to-toe with anyone. His firm concentrates in wills, trusts, estates, property transfers, personal injury, solar field, and Marcellus gas negotiations, and family law. Small enough to care, smart enough to win. That's the attorney, Thomas W. Schaefer. When we compare the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Albert Gallatin Colonials from the perspective of a team and not strictly speaking of individual players, here's some numbers for the Colonials coming into this game. They're averaging 60.2 points per game as a team, a little over 30 rebounds, 16 assists as a team, 11 steals, about 2 blocks per game, and they do come into this game averaging 14 turnovers per contest. That's a number, no doubt, that the Uniontown Red Raiders are going to look to capitalize on as we see the capital U on the middle of this beautiful court here at the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium inside of the Uniontown Area High School. The captains meeting now occurring on the far side of that U. And we see both head coach Rob Kaczmarski for Uniontown and head coach Shay Fleener for the Albert Gallatin Colonials participating in that meeting along with some of their players. On the Uniontown Red Raiders side of the team statistics, they're averaging 77 points per game, a little over 35 rebounds per game, 18 assists, 18 steals, about 5 blocks, and not quite 11 turnovers per contest for these Uniontown Red Raiders. Coming into this contest, hosting Albert Gallatin, I know a lot of our viewers are going to be familiar with the rivalry that exists between these two schools, and not just on the basketball court. This is a rivalry that has spilled over from the football field. It has spilled over from the baseball diamond. It is one that you can find across all of the athletic endeavors between these two school districts, both at the high school level, and even if you work your way down into some middle school sports, some pretty intense rivalries between these two schools. And as the warm-up period has come to a conclusion, the clock keeper has stopped the clock and has set us up for a first quarter as we prepare now to see our starting lineups introduced. The starting lineups are being brought to you by the U.S. Digestive Health and the Southwestern Endoscopy Center in Uniontown.
Your page for this event is intended to enjoy an exhibition of skills developed by student athletes in an educational setting. By meeting the challenge of sportsmanship in the stands, we are providing a sound example for students as well as representing the community and school with dignity and pride. Please give the student athletes your positive encouragement and support. Any unruly behavior, sexist, racial, or ethnic comments, abusive or foul language, or taunting of players, coaches, or officials will not be tolerated and could lead to your removal from this event. Thank you for your cooperation.
And now we are going to pause as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
On December 28th at the age of 85. Terry played football for UHS and graduated in 1955. He was inducted into the Uniontown Hall of Fame in 2014. Terry was a Red Raider fan for life, very rarely missed a game. Some say he bled maroon and white. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the life and legacy of Mr. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Uniontown's own Avery Lack. Oh, can you by the dawn's early light, what's so profound in the air, and at the twilight's last gleam, who brought stripes and white stars through the air. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups are brought to you tonight by U.S. Digestive Health and the Southwestern Endoscopy Center in Uniontown.
Let's hear it one more time for Uniontown's Avery Lax and the Uniontown Raiders.
Great job this evening by Uniontown's Avery Lax with the national anthem just a few moments ago, and a moment of silence here at the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gym for Harry Fee. And the Albert Gallatin Colonials now prepared to come out onto the floor and get this contest started. And the starting lineup, we'll see number 0, Blake White, the junior. Spoke about him during the pregame show. Number 3, Michael Belt, the junior, also starting for the Colonials tonight. Number 10, Aiden Black, the sophomore and leading scorer for this Colonial squad. Number 24, Shymir Wilson, the sophomore. And the starting lineup going to be rounded out by number 15, Grayson Jarrett, the senior. And now here come the Uniontown Red Raiders, starting 5. And starting for Uniontown this evening, the number 00, Notorious Grooms, the sophomore guard. Number 2, sophomore Calvin Winfrey. Number 4, Kadrian McGlee, the junior forward, getting the start for the Red Raiders tonight. Number 34, Jameer Braxton, the junior guard. And number 5, the senior guard, Bakari Wallace, going to complete the starting 5 for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Those were the starting lineups as brought to you by U.S. Digestive Health and the Southwestern Endoscopy Center in Uniontown. And that's going to bring our pregame show. Special thanks to Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They got us ready for the game tonight, and you can find them at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. We've got the Uniontown Red Raiders in their home whites, the Albert Gallatin Colonials in their visiting black uniform, charcoal number, white stripe. The Uniontown Red Raiders, of course, that maroon number on their uniform. And they're going to come out and organize themselves here on the court. And we may have a brief pause to begin this game as the custodial staff here at Uniontown Area High School takes a few minutes to address a small area of the floor. And everything seems to be in order. We've got Kadrian McGlee, number 4 for Uniontown, in the center circle. And he's going to be matched up against number 0, Blake White. And we're ready to get this jump ball into the air and the game underway here at the Uniontown Area High School in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Thank you for joining us this evening here on WMBS Facebook. Exclusive digital broadcast of this evening's game. Jump goes to Uniontown. That's Calvin Winfrey looking to set up Grooms out of the corner. And there's no shot. We're going to see a foul called against the Uniontown Red Raiders. The ball will go to Albert Gallatin, and here comes that Red Raider press. Albert Gallatin going to try their best now to work against it. Shymir Wilson across the timeline. He's going to draw Braxton on the Uniontown side. Albert Gallatin working it across here. This is Blake White. And before White can make the dish out to the corner, he was looking for Grayson Jarrett. He will travel, and the ball is going to go to the Uniontown Red Raiders. Kadrian McGlee will inbound now to Calvin Winfrey. A couple of Colonials going to wait for Calvin at the half-court line. Pass goes up court, far side, Grooms. He's going to work there against number 10. That's Aiden Black, the leading scorer for the Colonials. Now here's Braxton working off the wing, coming to our side. Little touch off the glass, and it's good. Big crowd here tonight, by the way, at the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium at the Uniontown Area High School. 1,002 the capacity here, and we've got a big crowd. Has to be somewhere close to that. Here's the Colonials now on their offensive set. Going to look at White coming off the wing. Now goes our sideline. Aiden Black going to work it back across, but has the ball stripped, and it ends up with Grooms, who misses the layup. Ball caroms off a hand. Calvin Winfrey, great hustle from him. He saves it. Ball goes to Braxton in the paint. Floater, no good. Grooms with the rebound. Kicks it out now to Winfrey off our wing. Goes short corner baseline. Gets the bucket and the harm. Foul called against Albert Gallatin. Foul is called against number 10. That's going to be Aiden Black. The Colonials will not want to have too many fouls against him. That is for certain. One shot from the foul line for Winfrey. Bucket no good. Kadrian McGlee tracks down the rebound against the baseline. Grooms goes inside now. Elbow. Braxton. Going to work against White for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Goes way outside to the corner to McGlee. Now back up top to Grooms right near us. Elbow again to Braxton. Braxton going to make some contact. And it's going to be called for all intents and purposes, it seems. Indeed, it will be called against the Albert Gallatin Colonials, number 24, Shymir Wilson. Ball will come in off the baseline. Grooms going to handle that responsibility. Goes Braxton Winfrey back to Grooms. And a nice feed inside to Wallace. Can't get it to go, but Kadrian McGlee is there to finish it off. Now AG real quick. Going to push it up the court to Black. And there's nothing happening there for him. The Uniontown Red Raiders jump out here to a 6-0 lead. The Colonials tried to be very quick on that inbound pass, and they had their look. But the Red Raiders still back in time to stop anything from happening. Now we go corner three. Grooms, no good. Colonials going to push this rebound up. This is Belt, has the ball stolen. And this is going to be Bakari Wallace now. Far sideline for the Red Raiders. He attacks the paint himself. Loses his footing, and the ball goes back to Belt. Here comes Belt, hard the other way. And he draws some contact from number 34, Jameer Braxton. At least we can assume the foul will be called against him. Indeed, it will be. And number 3, Michael Belt, the junior, at the foul line now for the Colonials. 2 team fouls each way in the early goings of period number 1. First shot for Belt is good. Colonials getting their first point tonight from the charity stripe. They're going to look for 2. The Red Raiders with Braxton and McGlee down low on the blocks for this rebound. And it is indeed Braxton who pulls it down. Here we go. Pushes it up to Winfrey across the timeline. He's going to be matched up here against number 24 for the Colonials. That was Shymir Wilson. Winfrey going to work it around himself. And unfortunately loses control of the basketball as he attacks the basket. Red Raiders will set up their press, and the Colonials going to look to work against it now. This is White. Inbounds it to Wilson. Wilson going to face up against Grooms right away. Tries to float it ahead to Belt, but Belt gets into a lot of traffic right away. Colonials, so far so good. They've got it down here. Now they get their shot. Air ball, no good. And here come the Red Raiders the other way. That was Black on the long 3, no good. This side, though, is good. Grooms takes it to the house. That's 2 more points. Colonials trying to operate quickly. Number 3, Belt can't get that one to go. Rebound goes Braxton. Nearly has the pass jump. Long outlet pass to Grooms across the half-court line. Grooms going to set this one up. Works it to our sideline. Now back up top to Braxton. Deep 3. Big man hits it. We've got an 11-1 ball game here. Not yet 3 minutes into the first period. Albert Gallatin going to try to make something happen, but Braxton pops that one out of the hands of Aiden Black. And we're going to see our first substitution, too. Number 2, Cameron Pratt, the junior, for Albert Gallatin, going to sneak in here, and he's going to handle the inbounding duties as well. The Red Raiders going to continue to roll with these 5. And we've got a screenplay here for Albert Gallatin. Gets the ball into Black. Across goes Wilson. Big man for 3, no good. That was Grayson Jarrett, the senior, has that one rattle out on him, and this is Notorious Grooms across the timeline, going to set things up for Uniontown. He's going to direct some traffic, wants the screen, gets it from McGlee, going to take it, works back to McGlee, and there's 2 more points. Nice pick and roll for those of you at home learning the game. Take a lesson there from Kadrian McGlee. Gets the screen and then gets home with it. Attacking the basket this way is going to be Blake White for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. And Blake cannot quite get that one to go, but we will have a foul call. And it appears as though the foul was called against number 4, Kadrian McGlee, the 6'5 junior forward for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Inside on the blocks are McGlee and Braxton. This will be Blake White, the junior. He gets that one to go, 13-2. Blake White, as we shared during our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show, helps this team in a lot of categories. And checking in for the Uniontown Red Raiders will be number 23, the senior guard, Tanner Uphold. He's going to take the low block. He goes 5'11", plenty of size to get up there and get this rebound. And he's set up now to box out, and he does. But the shot goes for White, and Uphold's going to handle the inbound. Calvin Winfrey pushing it ahead to Notorious Grooms. The Colonials want a trap, and for the moment, it appears as though that was successful. Produces a turnover, and it's going to be Albert Gallatin basketball. Blake White heading over right in front of the table here to inbound the ball. He's going to go to Shymir Wilson. Wilson, the sophomore, bring it across, gets it in the hands of number 2, Cameron Pratt. Then back to White. White uses his dribble, couldn't get anywhere on it. Pass goes inside to Grayson Jarrett, who has it taken away by Jameer Braxton. Now Braxton going to take it himself, and at the last moment has it poked out by number 0, Blake White. The Newtown Red Raiders will inbound this one off the D in red from their own baseline in front of the student section. Here's Jameer Braxton out of the corner. Goes short corner now to the block. Has that one blocked away by Blake White. Loose basketball. No one can seem to get a hold of it. Bakari Wallace says, hold on one second. I'll take that. Tries a long bounce pass to the corner to Grooms. Can't quite get it there. That was number 3, Michael Belt, knocking it out of bounds. Ball will stay with Uniontown, and this time they want Jameer Braxton to handle the inbounding duties, the 6'2 junior guard. Inbound goes Winfrey. Now back up top. Uphold going to be matched up against the big man from Albert Gallatin, Grayson Jarrett. Now Jarrett switches, takes Braxton, and Braxton says, I'll instead take the layup. 15-3 in favor of Uniontown. AG really trying to avoid that trap. Gets it down into their own corner, but has the pass jump, and here's Calvin Winfrey off to the races, super sophomore. Floats one in, 2 more points for Uniontown, and we're going to see a timeout taken by the Albert Gallatin Colonials here. 3:25 to play in the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. It's Uniontown 17 and Albert Gallatin 3. Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke would like to take this time to wish all Uniontown listeners a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year, and wish Uniontown head coach Rob Kaczmarski and the Uniontown Red Raiders the very best of luck this season. That message coming to you from Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke. And the Uniontown Red Raiders break their huddle. Albert Gallatin staying in the huddle a few seconds longer. Still have 23 seconds remaining in the timeout. The Uniontown Red Raiders have jumped out to a significant 17-3 lead, and it only took them a few minutes to get that lead together. The Red Raiders do have 3 team fouls, Albert Gallatin with just 2. So if you're looking for the silver lining for the Colonials, they do have a slight advantage in the team foul situation. The student section here at the Uniontown Red Raiders really filling the spirit tonight. And this is going to be Blake White for Albert Gallatin. He'll handle the inbound pass here. Inbound pass coming from the baseline. The Red Raiders have sent in number 12, Tavian Richardson. We mentioned how successful he's been this season for the Red Raiders. He's having a great season. Colonials with a substitution of their own. We see Isaac Ellsworth out there now for AG. Here's a take by Belt. No good. Fight inside by White, who tries to go reverse, but hits the support on the shot, and the ball is going to go to the Uniontown Red Raiders. Tanner Uphold going to handle the inbound here. Also checking in for the Uniontown Red Raiders, number 1, the 6'3 junior guard, Jeremiah Hager. Winfrey comes our sideline. Uphold now. Our corner to Grooms. Back out top to Winfrey. Winfrey going to set this one up. Goes far side. Richardson. Opposite corner now. Uphold. Working against the Colonials. Works it down to the block. Tries to get it to Hager. No good on the pass. This is White with the steal. Up ahead to Belt. No good on the layup. Belt frustrated about that one. Now the Red Raiders coming full steam ahead. And that's Notorious Grooms has a 3 right off. But what a play by Tanner Uphold, the senior, there to scoop that one up and lay it in. Nice looking play there by Tanner Uphold. Now here comes AG working the other way. Ellsworth wants to get that one out of the corner and goes to number 24, Shymir Wilson. No good. Rebound goes Red Raiders. Richardson, big pass up ahead to Notorious Grooms, who floats one in. 2 more for the Red Raiders. Wilson coming our side now. This is number 2, Cameron Pratt. Pratt going to hand it off deep, looking 3 there from, wow, number 11, Isaac Ellsworth, the freshman, buries that one, and Albert Gallatin's got 6 points now. Here we go. Hager off the elbow. Tavian Richardson with the pass, going to operate off the corner. Can't get that one to go, but Hager's there trying to finish it off. Richardson getting his own rebound, really fighting inside. Goes outside to Calvin Winfrey from the corner, and the Red Raiders answer Ellsworth 3 with one of their own. Winfrey from our corner hits that 3. Wilson getting a lot of pressure here from Grooms, and Grooms just takes the basketball away. Here's Notorious Grooms now in the paint, floats one up, no good. Calvin Winfrey, hard-fought rebound there, gets one back to Grooms on the floating pass. Backside, Hager is there, and the Red Raiders made that look very easy. Here comes Albert Gallatin trying to make something happen. Number 2, Pratt comes our side to Wilson. Wilson to Ellsworth, the freshman, buried a big 3 there just a few moments ago. Back inside to Wilson, off the block, no good. Ellsworth, nice-looking hustle there from the freshman. He gets the rebound, can't get the putback to go. The ball is going to stay with Albert Gallatin. We've got a couple substitutions now for AG. Number 10, Aiden Black, checking back into the game, as well as number 32, Caden McKay, and number 15, Grayson Jarrett back in. So a couple of the original starters for the Colonials are back in. 1 minute and 8 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Tavian Richardson all over that inbound pass, trying to get the ball to number 10, Aiden Black. Could not happen for Albert Gallatin. Ball will stay with them. They inbound now in front of the Uniontown bench. The freshman, Ellsworth. Nice looking couple minutes from him so far. He goes to Grayson Jarrett, and the long pass across is stolen by Notorious Grooms, and the near side official here is going to say the ball is actually out on Albert Gallatin. So the ball will stay with Uniontown. Richardson going to inbound now to Calvin Winfrey across the timeline. Winfrey wants to set this one up. He's going to work against Cameron Platt. Decides to take the elbow jumper. No good. Ball coming the other way hard now. The Colonials trying to stay ahead of that press. Not easy to do. Big 3 there from Ellsworth. No good. Gets his own rebound, though. Tries to flip it out to Aiden Black. Can't complete the pass, and that's going to be a backcourt violation, of course, against the Albert Gallatin Colonials. 41.5 seconds to play. This is a 26-6 ball game. To the Uniontown Red Raiders, and Red Raider faithful certainly must be very happy with how this one has started. Tanner Uphold going to handle the inbound responsibility. Grooms goes right back to Uphold, and he just lays it in. Classic play there. Uphold, the inbounder, goes to the corner, steps in on the block, and gets it. Here's the Colonials now trying to make something happen, trying to stay in this one. Pratt thinking about handing it off to Black, but keeps it himself, and Calvin Winfrey's in his back pocket, and now he's got the ball. And Calvin says 2 more points, 28-6. The Colonials trying to find an answer, clinging to life here in the first quarter. Here's Pratt, going to go our corner to Ellsworth, looking for some space, finding none. Pratt now gets Tanner Uphold on the baseline. And before we get the layup from Grayson Jarrett, it is a travel. The Albert Gallatin Colonials looking for a break. Shymir Wilson checking back in for the Colonials. 4 seconds on the clock here in period number 1. Ball going to be bounced in by Tanner Uphold. Now Calvin Winfrey scoops it up. 2 seconds. Winfrey wants to go all the way. Tries to float one up, but unfortunately will be called for an offensive foul against Calvin Winfrey. That will be the 4th team foul for the Uniontown Red Raiders. And 0.7 seconds on the clock. AG going to roll this one in. And Wilson scoops it up and fires one down the court off the wall. Nothing happening there. We played 1 period here at the Uniontown Area High School. It is the Red Raiders 30 and the Colonials 6. UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, and they treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacement, hand injuries, and other conditions. They can treat you efficiently and safely because they take all necessary precautions and are disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location, convenient hours, part of the community. You can call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access, and they can contact your doctor for you. That's 724-437-7500 for UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive. Just a few seconds now before we get period number 2 underway here at the Uniontown Area High School in the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. The Albert Gallatin Colonials going to break the huddle. And both coaches shouting out a few last words of guidance as we prepare for the inbound play. Going to be the Albert Gallatin Colonials with first possession. Right in front of us here is going to be number 0, Blake White. And White goes in to Wilson. Wilson going to set this one up. Nearly has the ball stripped away by Grooms, but they do succeed in getting it to Ellsworth, who fires it across the Black, far sideline, right in front of the Uniontown bench. Going to work against Calvin Winfrey. Black, leading scorer for AG. He gets 2 points. Worked hard for those 2 points. Working hard against Kadrian McGlee, no doubt. Gave up some height there. Groom's going to step across the timeline, get possession of that one. Goes far corner, Bakari Wallace. Rides the baseline. Gets it to our corner to Calvin Winfrey, who rattles home a 3. And the Uniontown Red Raiders now lead 33-8. Here comes Albert Gallatin. Hoping to have a strong quarter, no doubt, as AG. That's Grayson Jarrett, the big man on the 3. No good. Ball bounces out near athletic director for the Uniontown Red Raiders, Harry Kaufman. And the ball is going to go to Uniontown. Inbound to Braxton and back to Winfrey. Here comes Winfrey across the big U at the Uniontown Area High School. Far corner to Wallace. Little bounce pass out to Grooms, who attacks. Gets 2, but it's waved off. And they're going to say that Grooms has got a charge, an offensive penalty. So no bucket there for the Red Raiders. But we'll see a press offered by Braxton and Winfrey. Student section here at Uniontown, someone has a great big Notorious Grooms sign. I love to see that. Here comes Albert Gallatin. Aiden Black across the timeline. Black going to attack the paint. Floats one up and good. Aiden Black now quickly has 4 points. 33-10 goes the score. Here come the Red Raiders across the timeline. They waste no time and will attack. Kadrian McGlee inside. Can't get that one to bounce in, but there is a foul. Going to be a push called against the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Number 11, the guilty party, Isaac Ellsworth, the freshman. A lot of hustle out of that freshman, Isaac Ellsworth, so far. And McGlee, first foul shot. That one rolls across the front of the rim and in. 34-10 in favor of Uniontown now. 6:44 remaining in the second period. Here's McGlee. Shot number 2 is good. Want to give a shout out to the Albert Gallatin Colonial cheerleaders. Helped me with a few name pronunciations before the game. Really appreciate that. Here's the Colonials now trying to make something happen. Aiden Black going to launch a deep 3, and it goes right down. Double clutched on that one, and nothing but the bottom of the net. Here's Calvin Winfrey now. Goes across Notorious Grooms. 35-13 goes to score. Red Raiders tossing it back and forth, and Calvin Winfrey floats that one a little bit too far over Notorious Grooms. It will be a turnover, and the Colonials going to inbound the ball here. Blake White inbounding it from our right-hand side. Want to give a shout-out, too, to Bill Dice, our cameraman this evening. Bill does a great job. Thank you, Bill. And here come the Colonials. Aiden Black finally misses one. He's made a couple in a row. Kadrian McGlee gets the rebound near the block, but has the ball taken away by Black, and Black fighting hard, still fighting hard as he and Winfrey get tangled up. And now we're going to have a push called against Calvin Winfrey. And Calvin's going to have a seat, presumably, after having picked up a couple of quick fouls there. And Tanner Uphold, the senior, going to check back in. Tanner, the Markleysburg native, number 23. And ball is inbounded for the Colonials. Number 24, Shymir Wilson, goes to Aiden Black. Black has the hot hand here. He's going to advance it to the baseline, but there will be a travel called against him as he was working against Braxton down low. Tried to pass the ball back out, but travels first. Notorious Grooms inbounds it to Wallace, then back to Grooms. Grooms going to come our side. Up on near sideline. Goes down low to the elbow. McGlee, then the corner to Braxton. No good on the 3. Rebound McGlee, and he finishes it off nice and easy. Made it look easy, did Cadrian. Here come the Colonials. Wilson, 37-13. Wilson trying to make something happen. Gets a floater off, no good. Ball, big rebound there. I think it probably caromed out a little further than anyone was expecting. Ball goes out of bounds off of Uniontown and stays with the Colonials. Inbounds here, courtesy of number 3, Michael Belt, the junior. Gets it into White. White's going to try his hand at a 3. No good. Another rebound from McGlee. And now it's off to the races. Uniontown. Grooms off the elbow. Jumper. No good. Now Albert Gallatin going to go the other way to Belt. Belt has been hustling. Give credit where it's due. He gets up and down the floor really well and gets a bucket there. Now Uniontown the other way. Braxton all the way down on the opposite side. Courtesy the pass from Notorious Grooms. Here come the Colonials. They're trying to beat this press. Easier said than done. Belt comes up top here to Wilson. Wilson draws Grooms. Braxton going to stay with Belt. Belt sets up the play. Gets it back out to Black. Black going to direct some traffic. Wants a screen. Waves a couple of them off, though. Decides he's going to try it himself against Tanner Uphold. Floats one up. No good. Braxton wanted the rebound, and as it goes out of bounds, it touches Aiden Black. And so the ball will stay here with Uniontown. Notorious Grooms going to take his time. 4:32 to play. Nice looking pass there, right ahead to Braxton in traffic. Down low to McGlee. Pops it back out on the wing. Tanner Uphold gets a big 3 there for Uniontown. The Colonials trying to make something happen on this side, but Cadrian McGlee presumably registered 2 blocks there, and the ball goes to Notorious Grooms going the other way. Grooms floats it up and in, but that one is again waved off. The Red Raiders have probably had the better part of 4, if not 6 points to this point in time, waved off on charge calls. Number 11, Isaac Ellsworth, going to check back in for the Colonials. Score as it is right now, 42-15 in favor of Uniontown. Thank you for joining us again on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night here on WNBS. You're watching the Uniontown Red Raiders host the Albert Gallatin Colonials, and that's Aiden Black for the Colonials. Baby jumper from high post, no good. Rebound goes Uniontown. This is Jameer Braxton. Braxton going to work it inside to Cadrian McGlee. First look, no good. And the Colonials, no question about it, they were setting themselves up to draw a charge there. Aiden Black got himself in position to do so. Here's Shymir Wilson doing some dancing of his own to the side. Can't get it to go as he weaves through. And the ball pops out to Uniontown. This is Bakari Wallace now. Wallace takes it to the house in front of the student section. Gets the bucket, and he gets a big smack on the way up. He's going to shoot a foul shot. 3:33 to play. We're going to see Levi Garner checking in for the Uniontown Red Raiders. Cadrian McGlee going to get a breather here. Good start for Cadrian. We'll have to check the stat sheet at halftime to see if Cadrian had himself 1 or 2 blocks on that last Colonials possession. Here's Bakari Wallace. Foul shot is good. Albert Gallatin now going to try their hand on this possession. Little handoff to Ellsworth. Launching it. Deep 3. No good. And Levi Garner all over that rebound. Here's Braxton all the way down to Tanner Uphold. Cannot get the layup to go. And a couple of players in on the rebound. It will go off of Albert Gallatin as Bakari Wallace for Uniontown chases it out of bounds. But the ball is going to stay with Uniontown. And here's Tanner Uphold off the baseline. Uphold goes to his former A.J. McMullen teammate, Levi Garner. Garner to Braxton, now into the corner, Uphold, across to Richardson, our side, and the 3 is no good from Wallace, but Levi Garner says, I'm way out here. He's out off the block, gets the rebound, and uses the glass greatly. Here's Wallace now, jumps up, knocks a pass to Braxton. Poor Albert Gallatin trying to get something happen on that big inbound pass, no luck, and then the ball is thrown away by the Colonials. And on the Albert Gallatin side, we're going to see substitution here, number 34, Jace Sackett, the senior, getting his first look at some action tonight. Jameer Braxton going to inbound the ball for Uniontown. Here's Tanner Uphold on our wing. Uphold matches up against the freshman Ellsworth. Ellsworth does a nice job there, denying him an easy look at the basket. That pass gets away from Uniontown off of Jameer Braxton's hand, then off of the glass, and then off of number 2 for Albert Gallatin, Cameron Pratt. He can't corral it. Ball is going to stay with Uniontown. A couple of substitutions here. For Uniontown, we're going to see the 6'3 junior guard, Jeremiah Hager, check back in, and we get number 3, Michael Belt, the junior for Albert Gallatin, checking back in. 2:42 to play. And easily done for the Red Raiders. Bakari Wallace attacks the block, gets a nice-looking inbound pass from Tanner Uphold. And there's 2 more points for Uniontown. Here's Albert Gallatin now trying to make something happen. Pratt attacks the basket, no good off the far block. Another rebound for Levi Garner and head. Tanner Uphold, no good. Bakari Wallace tried to go reverse layup there, but the ball goes out to Tavian Richardson. Can't get that one to go, and Albert Gallatin gets a rebound, and we may have a foul here called against Tavian Richardson. We'll see. Indeed, it is called against number 12, Tavian Richardson. The senior guard for the Uniontown Red Raiders, Tavian listed at 5'8". And the shooter for Albert Gallatin will be Shymir Wilson. That is 8 team fouls for the Red Raiders. Foul shot no good. Levi Garner pulls it down, kicks it out to our sideline. Bakari Wallace now our corner. Tanner Uphold. Uphold going to take it himself. No good. Fights for the rebound. Cannot quite get it. Belt pulls it down for Albert Gallatin, and we may have yet another foul called here. And they are signaling that Belt will be the shooter. We're waiting for the foul call. And it looks like it's going to be called against number 5, Bakari Wallace, on a push. So 9 team fouls. The single bonus continues to be into effect for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Of course, on the next foul, though, they will get to shoot 2. Aiden Black checking back into the Colonials. Michael Belts at the foul line. The first one's no good. Levi Garner all over the rebound. Who else was going to get it but him? He was the better part of 2 feet further up off the ground than anyone else. And here come the Red Raiders. Tavian Richardson going to match up here against Black. Our side now, Tanner Uphold. Uphold back up top to Richardson. And Richardson wanted Levi Garner down low, but the pass gets away. And this ball will go to Albert Gallatin. 1:46 to play here at the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium inside of the Uniontown Area High School. Aiden Belt going to handle the ball across the timeline for Albert Gallatin. Draws Richardson, kicks it out here. Near sideline, Ellsworth on the 3, no good. And between Richardson and Uphold, the Red Raiders have corralled the rebound and advanced it across the timeline. 1:22 to play in this half. And Richardson's pass is popped up in the air by Belt, free ball. And it will be picked up by Cameron Pratt. Pratt coming hard the other way, wants to take it all the way and gets it. And around the big man, Levi Garner, no less. There was really only one way Pratt could go. He went up in the air, went hard to his right, gets it to go off the glass. Here's Jameer Braxton for Uniontown, far sideline, top of the key. Tavian Richardson back to Pratt. Pratt going to work it himself against Belt, and Pratt not able to cut off Braxton as he takes it to the hole and gets 2 more points for Uniontown. Albert Gallatin now opposite side. Goes off the baseline to Ellsworth. That 3's no good. It's going to be an easy rebound for Jeremiah Hager, who pushes it ahead hard. And Tanner Uphold, left-handed, gets that one to go. Strong first half here from Tanner Uphold. Albert Gallatin trying to work it down the far sideline. That 3 goes high off the glass, no good. Rebound, Levi Garner going to push it ahead to Tavian Richardson. Richardson attacks the paint himself. And we're going to have a foul on the floor, according to the near side official. And it looks like that foul was called against number 34, Jace Sackett. If so, that would be his first. Indeed, it is called against number 34. 5 team fouls for Albert Gallatin, and an easy look inside for Levi Garner, not even contested by the Colonials. 15 seconds to play in a 57-17 ball game here at the Uniontown Area High School. Here's Aiden Black working hard. Short corner floater, no good. And the rebound goes out of bounds. Substitution here for the Colonials. We'll see number 15 checking back in. That's Grayson Jarrett. And Uniontown will inbound a roller here with 2.6 seconds. Tanner Uphold back to Jameer Braxton, who inbounded it, launches one off the glass, no good. We have played 2 periods here at Uniontown. It is the Red Raiders 57 and the Albert Gallatin Colonials 17. Find more snuggle time this winter and be prepared for the cold with the help of First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. With a home improvement loan, a home equity loan, or home equity line of credit, you can finally upgrade that old furnace, take care of that leaking roof, or replace those outdated floors. Keep the cold out and the warm and cozy in your home this winter. Visit a loan officer today or apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, an equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. And the Spirit Band gets started here at halftime inside the A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. Southwestern Endoscopy Center is now a part of U.S. Digestive Health. If you have a close family member with colon cancer or pre-cancerous polyps, your screening should begin at age 40 instead of 45. Women, like men, are at a substantial cancer risk and should not avoid screening. Although colonoscopy is the most sensitive screening test, if you are fearful or have no health insurance, a stool fit test is a reasonable option. Learn more at usdigestivehealth.com. Stop by Big Al's Market on North Gallatin Avenue in Uniontown. Family owned and operated by Phil Lucioni and Dominic Sabatini. Big Al's features 2 one-topping pizzas and a 2-liter of soda for $21.99, or try an Italian hoagie and a 20-ounce drink for $6.99. Check out some of Big Al's other homemade food items, including pasta salads, macaroni salads, and deli items. Big Al's Market, 72 North Gallatin Avenue. Phone 724-550-4252. We're here at the Uniontown Area High School. The C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS. And this exclusive broadcast of the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Albert Gallatin Colonials on WMBS Facebook. Thank you for joining us this evening. Where can you go these days to have your gas pumped for you, oil checked, and windshield cleaned for you? Joby's Golf, that's where. Joby's Golf is located on the corner of Fayette and Beeson Boulevard in Uniontown. Joby's Golf is a fast, friendly, full-service gas station serving Uniontown in the same location for over 50 years. Joby's Golf offers lockout services, general repairs, tire repair, state inspection, and 24-hour AAA towing service. Phone 724-438-0681 for Joby's Golf. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Good luck to Coach Rob Kaczmarski and the Uniontown Red Raiders from George Dental Associates. Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer has litigated over 275 civil and criminal trials, some of which have been aired on Oprah, Inside Edition, and ESPN. Having an engineering degree, master's in business administration, and law degree qualifies him to go toe-to-toe with anyone. His firm concentrates in wills, trusts, estates, property transfers, personal injury, solar field and Marcellus gas negotiations, and family law. Small enough to care, smart enough to win. That's the attorney, Thomas W. Schaefer. The Uniontown Red Raiders hold a 40-point advantage here inside the Uniontown Area High School It has been a great start for the Red Raiders, and we've got a taste of that press that makes them so successful. It has limited the Colonials' opportunities and held the visiting Albert Gallatin squad to just 17 points. This is the conference opener for both teams. The Uniontown Red Raiders, though, coming in with an overall record of 9-1. Albert Gallatin coming in 3-4. The Uniontown Red Raiders averaging over 70 points a game. They're well on pace for that with 57 in the first half. The Albert Gallatin Colonials came into this one averaging over 60, but just 17 points through the first two quarters. Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides knows there is nothing more exciting than high school sports, and he knows all the athletes worked hard to be competitive, plus maintain their study skills. Commissioner Vince Vacides salutes all of the young contestants in their efforts. Good luck, and may the best team prevail. From Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides. This is the live video stream of WPIAL High School Boys Basketball, courtesy of George Dental Associates, SWGI in Uniontown, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the Centers for Rehab Services, and physical therapist Jim Burns, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides, Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer, Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke, Joby's Golf, Zen's Construction Warehouse, and Big Al's Market. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Joshua Scully here inside the Uniontown Area High School, A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. We are just about 3.5 minutes away from the resumption of play, and we're going to take a short pause now here on WMBS. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Uniontown Area High School A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. We're just about a minute away from the beginning of the third period here between the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Albert Gallatin Colonials. This is the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS. The Uniontown Red Raiders in their home white uniform, Albert Gallatin Colonial in their visiting black and charcoal uniforms. Got some statistics to share with you before we get back underway. Uniontown Red Raiders leading 57-17. Enjoyed 12 first half points from Calvin Winfrey, 10 courtesy of Kadrian McGlee, 5 from Bakari Wallace, 4 apiece from Notorious Grooms and Levi Garner, 2 from Jeremiah Hager. And then at the bottom of our stat sheet, Tanner Uphold, the senior, with a great big 9 points for this Uniontown Red Raiders squad. On the Albert Gallatin Colonial side, Aiden Black leading the charge for them. No surprise there, 7 points. 3 points for Michael Belt and Isaac Ellsworth, 2 points each for Blake White and Cameron Pratt. Halftime stats courtesy of First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. And both teams return to the floor here. The inbound pass will belong to the Uniontown Red Raiders, and Jameer Braxton sends it in to Calvin Winfrey. Crosses that big U in the middle of the court and the timeline. Calvin going to set this one up, directs some traffic, goes far sideline. Notorious Grooms. Notori trying to work on it himself there. Goes Braxton, our side to Winfrey. Now again to Grooms on the wing, and Grooms has that pass stolen by Grayson Jarrett, and now the Colonials with an opportunity. Wilson across the timeline, goes far sideline. Belt, who wants the three? Not there. Rebound goes Braxton. Braxton going to take it himself. Big push ahead. Notorious Grooms. And Notorious is going to be called for a foul, and that has been a reoccurring theme tonight for the Uniontown Red Raiders. They've taken quite a few offensive penalties. Some of them, we'll just say, have been very close calls. That is a third foul, personal foul on Notorious Grooms. 57-17, the score. Here's Blake White from the top of the key. Nearly loses his handle on the ball. Bakari Wallace there against him. We go far sideline now. Belt going to take it himself into the paint, and that one is smacked off the court by Bakari Wallace. Ball, of course, going to stay with Albert Gallatin, but still a nice play there from Bakari Wallace to deny the look at the basket there. Belt's going to handle the inbounding duty from the D in red along the baseline. Here comes the pass. And that one denied again by Wallace, and he nearly saved it. His feet were a blur as he came across, got a hand on the ball, and nearly stops it from going across the sideline here. Belt going to handle the inbound pass again, and yet again, here's Wallace. So far in the third quarter, and there's a three from Notorious Grooms, now far sideline. Wilson, 60-17 your score here at the Uniontown Area High School. Wilson nearly out of bounds, gets a pass in to Blake White. White gets that one to roll in. Good-looking floater there from White. Inbound pass, Calvin Winfrey. Winfrey going to draw Wilson as a defender across the timeline. Now comes our sideline. Notorious Grooms says, I'll take another one. No good. That one rattles out, almost good. Here comes Blake White, far sideline. Going to push that one ahead to Belt. Belt gets Grooms and Braxton. Goes back inside to Aiden Black. Black had 7 points in the first half for Albert Gallatin, but he gets denied there by Kadrian McGlee. Now, all the way down, Grooms across to Wallace, who gets cut off. Floats it back ahead to McGlee, and the far sideline official is going to say, hey, that is a backcourt violation. Very close, though. Kadrian McGlee tried to leap through the air and land on the good side of the timeline, but couldn't quite get there in time. Good effort, though. Here comes Wilson for Albert Gallatin. Directing some traffic, looked at Grayson Jarrett, then sent him away. Ball goes then all the way across, Black to Belt, then back to Jarrett. Now our corner to Belt. Belt going to draw Winfrey there. Albert Gallatin taking their time and then taking a nice-looking three there as Blake White off our wing. Pretty impressive shot, and with a defender right on him. Now the Red Raiders going to send it all the way across to Jameer Braxton, who loses the ball. And here comes Wilson now off to the races. Thinks about going to White, takes it himself. And now Albert Gallatin is on a quick 5-0 run. 60-24 your score. Jameer Braxton across the timeline, across that capital U here at Uniontown Area High School. A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. Nice, easy look down inside. And no one there to stop Kadrian McGlee. We're going to see a timeout taken here, a 30-second timeout. The Uniontown Red Raiders leading 62-24 with 4:16 to play in the third. This is the C. Harper Auto Group, a high school sports night on WMBS. Find more snuggle time this winter and be prepared for the cold with the help of First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. With a home improvement plan, a home equity loan, or a home equity line of credit, you can finally upgrade that old furnace, take care of that leaking roof or replace those outdated floors. Keep the cold out and the warm and cozy in your home this winter. Visit a loan officer today or apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association to advance the ball himself. The clock continues to roll here at Uniontown Area High School. Third quarter ticking by very quickly. Inbound pass. Far sideline near the score table is Aiden Black. Draws some very good-looking defense from Calvin Winfrey and then loses the ball to Jameer Braxton, who feeds it ahead. Notorious Grooms off the block, no good. Bakari Wallace fighting like a madman inside. He would not be denied. Gets his own rebound, gets another look, gets it to go. 64-24, and Bakari Wallace going to take a visit to the foul line here. Foul is called against number 3, Michael Belt, the junior. And the shot from Wallace rolls in off the back of the rim. 3:19 to play, 65-24. Ball gets pushed ahead here to Belt. Belt works it into the paint, but then just nowhere to go. The Uniontown Red Raiders were all over him. It was a 1-on-5. 3 there taken by the Colonials, no good. Rebound bounces from Cameron Pratt to Wilson, back to Pratt for 3, no good. Here's Braxton, going to push it all the way ahead, our sideline to Winfrey. Winfrey, wow! Attacks the basket. Great looking effort there from Calvin Winfrey off the near side block. And we're going to see number 11, Isaac Ellsworth, checking in for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. But Winfrey, some great looking footwork there. And he'll take a foul shot of his own. Foul called against number 2, Cameron Pratt. The Colonials trying to stay ahead of this press. The Red Raiders staying right alongside of him. Here's White again. Wants a deep-looking 3. No good. Winfrey, rebound. Feeds it ahead to Bakari Wallace. And Bakari gets his hand clapped by number 0, Blake Whites. And indeed, that is the foul call. Scoreboard puts that one up on the board for us. And that's a first foul called against White. First foul shot from Wallace, no good. We want to thank you again for checking out our broadcast this evening. Really tremendous opportunity to bring this great rivalry into your home, the Albert Gallatin Colonials and the Uniontown Red Raiders. We want to thank, too, our sponsor of our pregame show, the Sproles Insurance Group. And that one no good, but Tanner Uphold way up in the air, pulls it down. Bakari Wallace for 3 off the pass from Uphold, no good. Here's Wilson pushing it way down to Aiden Black. Nice looking move there by Black, but then he gets tangled up for just a second. Uniontown Red Raiders number 5. Going to be called with the foul. With a lot of contact there. I don't think Bakari Wallace intended nearly as much. That is his 3rd personal foul. And as that foul is going to be considered of an intentional nature, Aiden Black is going to take a couple of foul shots. He makes the first one, gets the second one, and Albert Gallatin is also going to get possession of the basketball. Red Raiders on the court right now have number 11, Levi Garner, number 23, Tanner Uphold, number 15, Devin Sykes, number 1, Jeremiah Hager, and number 12, Tavian Richardson. Here's Albert Gallatin. Wilson working off the far sideline. Nothing happening there. Too much height inside for this Red Raider team, and now the ball is stripped away by Tavian Richardson. Richardson does have a knack for getting steals. He leads the team in that category. Far corner now. This is Sykes. Going to dribble in. Wing jumper. No good. Ball gets popped out by Hager. Richardson gets himself a rebound. Hager, our sideline. Back to Richardson now. Working off the wing. Going to be matched up against Ellsworth. Pops it out. Far sideline. Uphold. Tries to advance on the baseline, and it looks like we'll have a foul called against Albert Gallatin. A foul on the floor called against number 24, Shymir Wilson. That's his second. And checking in for Wilson will be number 32, Caden McKay, the Albert Gallatin senior. Jeremiah Hager going to handle the inbounding responsibilities. Works it around Richardson, then back to Hager, who's working off the wing. Back up top, get the key to Richardson. Richardson thinking about taking it himself. Indeed he will. Gets all the way down to the block. Can't get that one to go as he tries to float it over the head of Isaac Ellsworth. Ellsworth going to corral the rebound. A little bit of contact down here. No call. Here's Aiden Black now across the timeline. Loses the basketball, and that's Devin Sykes who comes up with it. Sykes has to fight off Aiden Black to maintain possession, and it's going to be called undoubtedly a foul against Aiden Black. Let's see the official call. And it is his third personal foul. Aiden Black, the Albert Gallatin sophomore. And the clock continues to turn. Down to about 10 seconds now. Red Raiders inbound it. Tavian Richardson working hard, our side. And over top of a couple Albert Gallatin defenders with the floater. No good. And the rebound goes to Isaac Ellsworth. That's going to conclude the third quarter of play. It is Uniontown 68 and Albert Gallatin 26.
The winner $150. And the winning ticket number is 929085. Once again, 929085.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is now a part of U.S. Digestive Health. If you have a close family member with colon cancer or precancerous polyps, your screening should begin at age 40 instead of 45. Women, like men, are at a substantial risk and should not avoid screening. Although colonoscopy is the most sensitive screening test, if you are fearful or have no health insurance, a stool fit test is a reasonable option. Learn more at usdigestivehealth.com. Stop by Big Al's Market on North Gallatin Avenue in Uniontown. Family owned and operated by Phil Lucioni and Dominic Sabatini. Big Al's features 2 one-topping pizzas and a 2-liter for $21.99, or try an Italian hoagie and a 20-ounce drink for $6.99. Check out some of Big Al's other homemade food items, including pasta salads, macaroni salads, and deli items. Big Al's Market, 72 North Gallatin Avenue. Phone 724-550-4252. Ball comes inbound for Albert Gallatin. This is Cameron Pratt working on the wing, matched up against Kadrian McGlee. Pratt trying to make something happen. The Red Raiders in man-to-man. And Pratt going to drive it down to the block, nearly loses the ball, kicks it out to Ellsworth across the baseline and back to Pratt. And the ball is taken away by Kadrian McGlee, the big man, who wanted to go down low to Bakari Wallace, but it didn't happen. Blake White ends up with it, and the ball is out of bounds off of Albert Gallatin. The Red Raiders going to inbound it here. Bakari Wallace coming across to Calvin Winfrey. Calvin advances it across the timeline, matched up here against Michael Belt. Works it inside, does rooms to McGlee, and another charge call against the Uniontown Red Raiders. This has been a theme, an ongoing theme, to say the least, this evening, as the Red Raiders have had several opportunities and at least a couple points denied to them by these offensive penalties, and a couple, including that one, have been really close calls. Here's the Colonials now. They get a deep three from Isaac Ellsworth. It won't go. Chasing the rebound out of bounds for the Colonials is Jace Sackett. Correction, that was Caden McKay, number 32, the Colonial senior. He can't quite get there, and the ball is going to go to the Uniontown Red Raiders. The Colonials now going to offer some pressure of their own. 6:22 to play in the fourth period of a 68-26 ball game. The Red Raiders going to work against the press. That one gets floated up to Braxton from Bakari Wallace and knocked out of bounds by Cameron Pratt on the far sideline by the Colonials bench. Wallace going to try it again. Now he goes to Groom's far sideline. And the Colonials will retreat as the ball is handed off to Calvin Winfrey. Calvin Winfrey across the timeline, goes far wing to Grooms, now inside off that first peg to Braxton, and Braxton gets a bucket there working against Cameron Pratt, who goes down onto the floor, but no call, and we have a timeout taken by the Uniontown Red Raiders. And some subs coming in on a 30-second timeout. But the officials are going to wave off the remaining timeout time and say, let's keep it rolling, as the Red Raiders send out a group of Richardson, Sykes, Hager, Uphold, and Garner. Here's another deep three from Ellsworth, and He made one of those earlier, and he gets that one too. He was way out there off the far wing near his own bench, gets it to go. Now here's Sykes working on our sideline, goes corner. Tanner Uphold for the Red Raiders, going to work it out of there, working against the freshman Ellsworth. Uphold tries to float one backhanded up over top of Ellsworth, doesn't go. But the baseline official says, hey, it touched Ellsworth on the way out, so you get to keep the basketball. And Tanner Uphold will inbound it here with 5:17 to play. He wants Jeremiah Hager, gets him. Jeremiah Hager wants a three and gets it. Red Raiders increase their lead, 73-29. Here come the Colonials now, fast as they can, but Ellsworth loses the long inbound pass to Devin Sykes. Now Uphold pushes it ahead. Tavian Richardson trying to work it down under the block. Can't get it to go. On the floor now. A couple of Colonials after the basketball, including McKay. The ball changing hands here several times pretty rapidly. Blake White comes out with it, gets it to the far elbow. Can't get the jumper to go. Couple in on the rebound, including Tavian Richardson. And Tanner Uphold, it's Devin Sykes who comes down with it, though, and Sykes goes all the way, can't get that floater over top to go. Levi Garner rebound, fighting hard inside is Isaac Ellsworth for the Colonials. He strips away the basketball, goes far side now. Pratt to Belt. Belt tries to float one over top of a couple of defenders, no good, and we'll have a foul called here as Levi Garner tries to get an outlet pass to Devin Sykes, but draws some contact from the Colonials. Foul called against number 32. That is Caden McKay, the 5'8 senior. 4:06 to play. Tanner Uphold going to inbound in front of the student section for the Uniontown Red Raiders, leading 73-29. Of course, mercy rule in effect here. That is why the clock is moving so rapidly and hardly ever stopping. Tavian Richardson wants to direct traffic, has the ball poked out by Shymir Wilson, and he regathers. Back across the timeline he comes and attacks it himself. No good in the paint. And a couple of players in on the rebound, including Levi Garner and Isaac Ellsworth, a couple of 11s. Both players wearing 11 for their respective team. And that foul is going to be called against Levi Garner. That is his first. Colonials will inbound the ball here. Cameron Pratt, the junior, going to inbound it to Shymir Wilson. Wilson goes far sideline. Little handoff here to Aiden Black. Black matched up against Tanner Uphold, walks off of that sideline, tries to get something happening, but is met by a lot of Red Raiders inside. Kicks it out to Wilson, who hits a nice three off the far sideline near the corner, 73-32. Tavian Richardson goes way up ahead to Devin Sykes, and Sykes gets it to go down. Nice looking leading pass there by Richardson. Hey, he did some of that on the football field too, after all. Now the Colonials trying to answer. Blake White goes across, nearly has that pass jump, but Aiden Black pulls it down and hits a three, 75-35. A couple of nice looking shots here for both teams. Tavian Richardson, our sideline, works it to the middle, then back toward us, matched up against Wilson. Richardson now off of that defender, drives the lane, and goes over top of another attempt to draw a charge. Aiden Black in there, trying to get his feet set, can't quite get there. Tavian Richardson gets the bucket. Now here's Black on the other side. No good on the three. A couple of players in on the rebound, including Blake White, who gets it. White going to take it back out off the wing. Now comes across. Belt, our side. Wilson working off of our wing, matched up against Sykes. Runs out of real estate when he runs into big Levi Garner inside. Back up top now to Black. Out of the corner. Pass goes to Cameron Pratt. Pratt gets some contact against Tanner Uphold. And this might be an offensive foul against the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Certainly seems to be that case. And it is. Fouls against number 2. Cameron Pratt. That's actually 17 fouls now for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. We see Nick Torabich check in for the Uniontown Red Raiders, number 21. He's going to inbound it to another new Red Raider, number 24, Marcus Heiss. And Heiss thinks about pulling that one up. Instead has the ball stolen. And off to the races is number 32, Caden McKay, who gets the bucket, so it seems. We'll wait for the official call. Bucket is good, and the foul is indeed going to be called against the Red Raiders. Number 15, Devin Sykes, the guilty party. That's his first. And number 32 for Albert Gallatin. Caden McKay will head to the foul line. McKay, the 5'8 senior for the Colonials. He's going to get one foul shot here, and it's no good. Rebound goes to number 14 for the Red Raiders. Ball gets pushed ahead here to Levi Garner, who gets a nice-looking bucket off the block. Number 14, by the way, for Uniontown is Eric Townsend. Now for Albert Gallatin, here's Black. It's denied by Townsend. Big block there. Ball pushed ahead by Uniontown. Levi Garner across to Sykes. Boy, Devin Sykes making his presence known there. Nice looking little flip pass there from Levi Garner. And it looks like we might have ourselves a timeout with 42 seconds to play. Both teams gathered themselves together. It's going to be Albert Gallatin ball. Isaac Ellsworth going to handle the inbounding duty. Ball comes in to Shymir Wilson. Wilson going to advance it across the timeline, right across the middle of the court. Comes our side. Ellsworth thinks about that three, matched up against Nick Torbich. And this will be a three-point attempt by number 32, Caden McKay. No good. And the ball bounces off of a few players who were in on a rebound attempt. And the baseline official says that was off of Albert Gallatin. Ball stays at Uniontown. Clock continues to wind. 18 seconds. Nick Torbich now receives a big inbound pass, tries to float it ahead to number 24, Marcus Heist, but he can't get that pass in. The Colonials with a steal. Blake White on this side, no good. And we will have a call here from the official. Foul. And the clock will be allowed to expire here at A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium at Uniontown Area High School. That final foul called against number 24. That would have been Shymir Wilson. Correction, that would have been against Uniontown, number 24, Marcus Heist. The Uniontown Red Raiders 81, the Albert Gallatin Colonials 37. Stay with us for just a few moments for the post-game show coming up, where we will acknowledge the player of the game. Shop the New Year's sale at Zen's Construction Warehouse on Walnut Hill Road in Continental, family owned and operated by the Nelson family. Zen's has everything you need for that next home improvement project at deep discounted prices from the big box stores. Phone 724-366-8274 or visit Zen's on Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, our surplus, your savings. That's Zen's Construction Warehouse in Continental. You have just checked out the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night on WMBS. The Uniontown Red Raiders have won their first conference contest of the season, defeating the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Scoreboard here at Uniontown Area High School shut off, but that scoreboard was brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy. Peachin's Pharmacy in the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market. We want to thank again the Sproles Insurance Group for sponsoring our pregame show. Prior to this contest, we're ready now for the postgame show. The Uniontown Red Raiders emerging victorious once again, improving to a record of 10-1 overall, now 1-0 in the conference. The Uniontown Red Raiders looked very strong throughout the course of this contest, no doubt about that. The Albert Gallatin Colonials finishing this one with a record of 3-5, 0-1 in the conference now for the Colonials, as this was their first conference game too. First conference matchup and a great rivalry matchup for these two teams. The Uniontown Red Raiders, of course, jumping out in this one very early with a big lead, and they never relinquished it, although the Colonials, for their credit, a couple of real nice looking shots throughout the course of the evening, especially from a freshman, Isaac Ellsworth, who buried a couple of deep threes. And the Colonials, though, coming up a bit short and will drop to 3-5 on the season. Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides knows there is nothing more exciting than high school sports, and he knows all the athletes worked hard to be competitive, plus maintain their study skills. Commissioner Vince Vacides salutes all the young contestants in their efforts. Good luck, and may the best team prevail. From Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vacides. Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke would like to take this time to wish all Uniontown area listeners a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year, and wish Uniontown head coach Rob Kaczmarski and the Uniontown Red Raiders the best of luck this year. UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community. They treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacement, hand injuries, and other conditions. They can treat you efficiently and safely because they take all of the necessary precautions and are disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapist, convenient location, convenient hours, and part of the community. You can call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access, and they can contact your doctor for you. 724 437 7500 for the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services. Thankfully, we had no injuries tonight, but if we had, our injury timeouts would have been brought to you by UPMC Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns at 160 Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. The Center for Rehab Services. Relief is closer than you think. Stick with us for just one more moment as we will be announcing the player of the game, brought to you by Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the conclusion of our C. Harper Auto Group Sports Night broadcast here at Uniontown Area High School. Exclusive digital coverage of the Uniontown Red Raiders boys basketball team on the WMBS Facebook page, which has been brought to you by George Dental Associates, SWGI in Uniontown, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the Centers for Rehab Services, and physical therapist Jim Burns. Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer, Uniontown Mayor Bill Gerke, Joby's Golf, Zen's Construction Warehouse, and Big Al's Market. And now, our player of the game, brought to you by Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides. Our player of the game tonight is one of Uniontown's super sophomores, Calvin Winfrey. Great game from Calvin today. Negotiated some foul trouble early, actually. Picked up a couple of quick fouls in the first half, but a tremendous effort, especially in that second half. Working hard inside for those extra looks at the basket. Calvin Winfrey, your player of the game for this contest, brought to you by Fayette County Commissioner Vince Vicides. Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer has litigated over 275 civil and criminal trials, some of which have been aired on Oprah, Inside Edition, and ESPN. Having an engineering degree, master's in business administration, and law degree qualifies him to go toe-to-toe with anyone. His firm concentrates in wills, trusts, estates, property transfers, personal injury, solar field, and Marcellus gas negotiations, plus family law. Small enough to care, smart enough to win. That's the attorney, Thomas W. Schaefer. Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years of experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Good luck to Coach Rob Kaczmarski and the Uniontown Red Raiders this season from George Dental Associates. You have been watching another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Night, exclusive digital coverage of the Uniontown Red Raiders boys basketball team on the WMBS Facebook page. Join us again next time for high school basketball here on WMBS. For WMBS, this is Joshua Scully from the Uniontown Area High School, where the Uniontown Red Raiders emerge victorious over rival Albert Gallatin Colonials. We will see you again on Friday as the Red Raiders travel to Belle Vernon. Have a great night, and thank you for joining us this evening.